Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is finally here, and with it, Digital Eclipse and Atari bring us one of the strongest gatherings of iconic fighting games Earthrealm has ever seen, complete with several rarities fans never expected to actually see the light of day. But a handful of important omissions at launch hold this title back in a big way, and I can't help but walk away from the experience with concerns about the collection's longevity and future. I am very fortunate to have received a review copy of Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, and after spending quite a bit of time exploring its various offerings, I am here to give you that sweet lowdown on what to expect before you hand over your cold hard cash. Saludos mi gente, my name is Dream King, and today, we're reviewing a game, y'all. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection comprises 23 games from the series' formative years all into one sleek package. Its focus lies mainly on the 90s era of Mortal Kombat, with a smaller venture into the early 2000s, and it aims not only to bring some of the series' most iconic titles back for modern audiences, but also chronicle the franchise's storied past and detail how it grew into the fighting game titan it is today. This collection features multiple iconic versions of classic games, ranging from arcade ports to home console and even some handheld versions. And while it might seem like overkill to have something like the original Mortal Kombat included 5 different times in this collection, oftentimes there exist distinct differences between the versions that make it comprehensive instead of filler. For example, you can explore Mortal Kombat 1 on both the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis, the former famously doing away with the blood in exchange for sweat, while its competitive counterpart goes full gore. As one might expect from a fighting game collection, players can engage in local versus mode as well as online play. 15 out of the 23 included games have online functionality, and don't worry, it's got rollback netcode. One of Legacy Collection's strongest traits comes in the form of its modern fighting game amenities and options. You'll find training mode for the major titles in this lineup, including arcade ports and the most popular games featured here, and though the practice options provided aren't quite as robust as what you'd find in a major modern fighting game, what's available is solid and nice to have, especially for the older titles. There's a fatality training mode for the big games as well, and it's a really nice addition that allows you to jump in quickly and easily, and practice any of the finishers that you want to learn. What's cool about this feature is that it also comes packed with on-screen inputs for all of your character's various finishers. It has an option that shows you at what range you need to be standing at to actually perform the move, and you can quickly cycle through the finishers in real time and have the range change depending on the currently active input you're working on. This collection also boasts lightning fast rematches in versus mode, and they are indeed very fast, as well as the ability to select stages, activate combat codes, and much more. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection isn't just an assortment of amazing Mortal Kombat games, but doubles as an extensive tribute to the franchise's history. It features an interactive documentary that allows you to explore and learn all about how the Mortal Kombat series came into existence and how it evolved and grew by way of various pieces of concept art, video interviews with the original developers, behind-the-scenes footage of the games being made, and much more. In addition to this, the crypt holds bios for every Mortal Kombat character playable among the games offered in the collection, and a music player featuring tracks from across these various titles as well. But when it comes to the biggest selling points for this collection, it's the rarities it offers that stand out most. For the first time ever in history, the WaveNet version of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 has been re-released and is included in Legacy Collection. In short, Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 WaveNet is the final arcade revision of the game that was set up to have netplay and was never widely released. It's a version that had extremely limited location tests, and its presence was so scarce that it has essentially been considered lost media up until Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. This means that for the first time ever, players will be able to really dig deep into the lost, final version of Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, which does indeed include various balance changes. Digital Eclipse and NetherRealm didn't stop there though, as they produced yet another miracle. For the first time ever, again, Mortal Kombat 4 has received an accurate and proper arcade port, and it is included here in Legacy Collection. This is another one of those things that fans have been waiting a very long time for, but never really expected to ever see it happen. Yet, here it is. And to round out this trifecta, for the first time ever, again, Mythologies, Sub-Zero, and Mortal Kombat Special Forces have seen re-releases, and they're both in this collection. They also have rewind and save state features to help players with their notorious difficulty. Legacy Collection's laundry list of offerings are easy to track down thanks to its slick user interface. The main menu is littered with cool Mortal Kombat visuals, music, and screen transitions, and everything is laid out nicely so that you can get right to where you want to go, when you want to go there. This is further bolstered by the super fast load times, which kept surprising me as I would think about what game and options I needed to access, and within a few seconds I was in-game and ready to go. The main options that you need can be selected and changed before you boot up any title, and you can quickly get to the options screen while in a game whenever you want to change visual filters, select a new character or stage, or exit out to play something else. Digital Eclipse did a great job with the menus and functionality here. I did run into a handful of strange bugs though, mostly with audio when in training mode. Now I haven't spent much time playing Mortal Kombat 4 in the past, so I'm not sure if this is just something that happens and is known about, but I noticed that the background music while in training mode would react to certain attacks, and unintentionally loop a particular part of the track. Going even further, whenever I hit a specific combo string, the music would actually stop outright, and I could bring it back by hitting the same string again. To reiterate, if this is something that's already known, then please disregard this part. But in addition to this, I found that the music in Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the PlayStation 1 also gave me some issues while in training mode. This time the background music would play out, and then after it was done, it would just end. It wouldn't loop itself for whatever reason, and one time I even encountered a soft lock where the characters in the game were completely frozen, but I could still access the options and inputs were still being displayed as I hit them. But to be fair, I didn't run into these issues while playing arcade mode for either game, and I did notice Legacy Collection received multiple updates since I first downloaded it, so it's possible that those bugs were ironed out already or will be ironed out soon. These definitely weren't end-of-the-world kind of issues, but they are worth mentioning. Legacy Collection puts an emphasis on quality of life changes and improvements, and it absolutely shines there. In addition to the fast load times, easily accessible options, and fatality training, the process of uncovering each game's secrets has never been more streamlined. Whether it be playing as hidden fighters or engaging in combat against mysterious foes, every major secret in every title can be toggled in the options menu. If you want to play as Chameleon in Mortal Kombat Trilogy, just jump into the game's options, select additional settings, toggle Chameleon on, and whenever you pick one of the ninja characters, they will transform automatically at the start of the round. Not only do these secrets trigger automatically when you toggle them on, but highlighting these options explains what the secret is and how you traditionally access it. Something notoriously difficult like tracking down and facing Reptile in Mortal Kombat 1 becomes unbelievably easy when you toggle the secret on. Instead of having to win 2 rounds on the pit without blocking, finishing with double flawless victory and your fighter's fatality, and seeing the required silhouette fly across La Luna, all you have to do is win the first match in a single player mode and that's it. Doing so will have Reptile appear in the next fight, and once the battle is done, the secret option will toggle itself off. This is such a fantastic quality of life change, and one that not only makes getting to Mortal Kombat's best secrets much quicker and easier, but it also helps introduce new players to some of fighting games' best Easter eggs. Though the games themselves look great in this collection, you can also touch things up even further thanks to the game's selection of visual filters. Much like other collections of classic fighting games, you can change your game screen size, add overlays, and apply filters that aim to reproduce the effects of old arcade and TV screens. Unfortunately, these options are incredibly limited, with the filters giving you a TV and curved TV option for console and arcade games, an LCD filter for handhelds, and a single overlay for arcade and console ports, while some handheld titles have a few to choose from. For some games, the TV filters look pretty darn nice. For others, not so much. And in addition to them being hit or miss, the amount of options offered here pales in comparison to other fighting game collections that not only give you a lot more choices, but look better too. There is one exception though, And that's Mortal Kombat 4's rendering scale option, which allows you to increase the game's resolution, and it looks fantastic at the highest setting. However, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection's biggest sin, the one that is going to be the deciding factor on whether or not fans purchase it, is its online modes. Or should I say lack thereof. At launch, Legacy Collection's online offerings are about as bare bones as it gets. Players are able to hit quick match for the game of their choice, which will pair you up against a random opponent, and that's it. Seriously, that's literally it. There is no ranked mode, no leaderboard, and not even private lobbies where you can link up and play with friends. Now, Digital Eclipse has already stated that private and public lobbies are coming to the game at a later time by way of their online arcade feature. And this will allow up to 16 players to hop into a lobby and play multiple games simultaneously. Because online arcade is considerably more robust than quick match, and it is more ambitious than what Digital Eclipse has put into previous games, according to them, the developers have noted that it is taking more time to polish this feature and ensure it is running properly. Fans can expect it to release a few weeks after launch, though that window could change, and it will be released as a free update, so that's nice at least. All of that having been said, not having standard online features that can be found in nearly every modern fighting game at launch can be a death sentence. And from the sounds of it, there doesn't seem to be any kind of ranked option or leaderboard in the works, which is doubly bad as ranked mode is one of the main contributors to a fighting game's longevity. But Legacy Collection's online woes don't stop there. This collection also does not feature crossplay, with the only exception being that it does have cross-gen functionality. So PlayStation 4 players can match up with PlayStation 5 users, Xbox One with Xbox Series X as well, and finally Switch and Switch 2 players can do the same. No crossplay is another fatal blow to Legacy Collection and its potential longevity because, with there being 15 different games that have online capabilities, the player pool is already stretched much thinner than it would be in a major modern fighting game, or even a collection that has a designated definitive version with online play. Add into this witch's brew a lack of crossplay, and finding matches consistently in the game of your choice is going to be even more difficult, especially for those who don't live in major metro areas and regions. Full disclosure, I was unable to find any matches before launch, likely due to my location, so I can't yet speak to how well the netcode holds up. But with the collection having rollback, it's likely pretty solid when you do actually get into a random match. I may revisit this after launch to see for myself, but still, the aforementioned issues with Legacy Collection's online modes cannot be understated and still apply. Though Legacy Collection lacks in online offerings, it does the opposite on the history front. The interactive documentary it touts features 5 different chapters, all jam-packed with tons of information, interviews, flyers, concept art, and photos that intricately detail Mortal Kombat's formative years. Every chapter is broken down and organized into an interactive timeline that follows the events as they progress, leading with key pieces of information or videos that branch off into smaller supporting details and pieces of Mortal Kombat history. If you're a Mortal Kombat fan, diving deep into this interactive documentary is a must, as there's a lot to see and learn here, and those who just want to know more about the franchise will absolutely get a lot out of it too. One thing I really enjoyed about this interactive documentary is the ability you have to jump right into any game of your choice right from the timeline. At one point, I learned about the history behind the reptile fight in Mortal Kombat 1, then remembered I never really fought that fight myself. So I jumped right into the game selection screen from the documentary timeline, went to Mortal Kombat 1 arcade, toggled the special option to trigger the reptile fight, and after one quick match in the arcade ladder, I was able to face Reptile and live through what the documentary was talking about. That seamless integration is a really nice touch, and once I was done, I backed out of the game and was able to return right back to the spot in the documentary timeline I was at before I started. And there's a lot to get to in this interactive documentary. Just working my way through everything Chapter 1 had to offer took me roughly 3 hours, so there's a lot of value to be found here. Beyond that, there are character bios for each playable fighter in Legacy Collection, which also use a timeline interface to share various details about them and showcase some of their arcade mode endings. This acts as a good resource for those looking to dig into Mortal Kombat lore and learn more about what each character was up to in the games that they appeared in. Lastly, the crypt also contains a music player that allows you to rummage through the various themes from the games included in the collection. It's a pretty standard feature without any major bells and whistles, but it's definitely nice to see it added. Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is an impressive gathering of classic Mortal Kombat games. The quality of life improvements Digital Eclipse has made go a long way in making these old school games feel young again, and streamlined access to these titles' coolest secrets make Legacy Collection the best way to revisit some of the most iconic games the series has to offer, as well as enjoy some first ever rarities that fans of all ages will be experiencing for the first time. Couple this with an extensive interactive documentary that details the history of the franchise, and you have the foundation for an excellent retro fighting game collection. Unfortunately, Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection's focus on the past also bleeds into its most modern feature. Online modes are painfully bare bones, and the lack of crossplay will only further limit a player pool that is already doomed to be stretched across 15 different games. Hardcore Mortal Kombat fans will undoubtedly want to pick this collection up, especially for Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 WaveNet and the Mortal Kombat 4 arcade port. And if you're someone who just wants to be able to play these games and explore them offline, this is a really good way of doing so. That said, most modern fighting game players want to be able to play online, and if that's your biggest focus, then that $49.99 USD price tag might not be justified for you. Will you be picking up Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching.